Okay, hello Smiles Tribe. Welcome back to another video. Tonight we're going to be talking about locks, different ways how to start your locks and how to maintain locks. So, if you know somebody who has locks who is starting locks, make sure you share this video to them so they can get some tips and tricks on how to maintain their locks. Now, before we get started, if you knew, my name is LISASMILEZ. I'm a natural hairstylist. I'm the creator of the all infamous Glow Butter. Okay. And so I got to make some church announcements right quick. So if you're watching the replay, you might have to fast forward to the church announcements till we get to the tips. But first, church announcements is if Acacia come up here, I need her to remind me in 15 minutes to go check on that body butter. Acacia is in the building. The Spouse Tribe butter. Acacia, remind me in 15 minutes to go check on that body butter, okay? Because I'm multitasking. I about wasn't gonna go live tonight, but I decided to get up here, give y'all some tips right quick, and then I got to head over and finish whipping these body butters because to me it's a texture thing for me, and the texture have to be right, okay? The texture have to be right. So that's the first church announcement. I just got finished whipping up a batch of Caribbean Escape, and I'm going to make a batch of more of the eucalyptus spearmint and probably another batch of the lavender. Now, another one. It's Coach Rue up here. Y'all, I got a surprise phone call. Okay, let me talk about a surprise phone call right quick. Okay, so I have a work phone, right? So when I'm driving home from work, I turn my work phone off because I just want to just keep, work phone separate. So I turned it off. So I really don't turn on my work phone until I get in my car and I'm driving to work. So I see the missed call from California. I'm like, who calling me from California? Like, who wants some money now? Like, who over here trying to call me about some money? Because y'all already know when somebody call you from the other side of the world, they want some money. And so I heard the voicemail and I was just like, who is this? No, I couldn't hardly understand. Y'all, guess who called me all the way from the west side? She called me last night, but I didn't see the call until this morning. But shout out to you, Coach Rue. Yes, I'm calling you out, Coach Rue. Coach Rue called me all the way from the west side. She wanted to know about them glow butters. But yeah, we was talking about some other stuff. But Coach Rue, that was a pleasant surprise. And when I seen your call when I was on the way to work, it was like 8:30 when I was on the way to work this morning. And I was getting so excited and I was about to call her back. And I said, hold on, Lisa. She on the west side? What time is it right now? I said, I ain't gonna wake her up. I don't want to disturb her morning, just I'm gonna let this simmer. I'll call on my lunch break. But anyway, Coach Rue, it was a pleasure speaking to you, even though I couldn't speak to you long because I was trying to get to the shebag because it's Easter week. And so they got me booked and busy. So I ain't complaining, but I am definitely grateful. So yeah, shout out to you, Coach Faru. I enjoyed hearing from you today. And it's nice to put a voice with a name, a picture with a name. And Acacia, I think I seen you on the Prosperity Partners call. I don't know if you seen my private message, but I had private message you. So anyway, shouts out to the Smiles Tribe for supporting your girl. And yeah, so I should have those glow butters prayerfully on the website either late tonight, because I don't know, I might have to pull it all night. We'll see. And I got a long weekend because y'all know it's Easter weekend. Everybody and their mama come to get their hair done for church on Sunday. So y'all keep me lifted in prayer. I don't see how I'm about to get all this done. And another church announcement, if you are a current client of mine, my May calendar drops tomorrow as well at 12 p.m. So be ready to book your May appointment. May is going to be a busy month because we got Mother's Day. I got a whole lot of graduations to do. It's Memorial. There's a lot going on. So anyway, I'm just grateful for that. So is that all the church announcements I have? There might be all the church announcements. So anyway, let's get into these tips for Starter Locs. Tracy Ann is in the building. Hey, Tracy Ann. Hey, Queen Heart. Thank you for joining this live. So the first tip I'm going to give you, first thing I'm going to say is when it comes to locks, starting locks, you can start locks multiple ways. There's not just one way you can start locks. It really depends on the client preference. So the most popular way in my salon to start locks is with two-strand twists. And the reason why is because a lot of my clients, they love my two-strand twist. They love getting it. And it's like, it's an easy go-to because it's a style that they already wear. So you can start your locks with two-strand twists. You can start your locks with the comb coils or a finger coil. You can start your locks with braids. You can start your locks even by what we used to call it in hair school was back combing, which you take a piece of the hair, and I think more of our Caucasian people start their locks like this because they ain't really got no texture. But this is a little sidebar. But they start theirs by back combing. Y'all remember back in the day when we used to wear like French rolls and buns, and how we used to tease the hair and back comb the hair just to get that little puff? You can also start locks like that. So there's multiple ways to start locks. It just depends on your preference. Now, I will say for those who decide to start locks with two-strand twists, it's not going to always look like two-strand twists. Like originally, yes, you're going to see the shape. Like for instance, with these twists, you're going to see the shape of the twist. But as you keep coming back and you keep getting it palm rolled or interlock, I'm going to talk about that too, it will eventually form into a nice smooth lock. Okay, so just know there are multiple ways to start locks. It don't have to just be one way. But you know what, I should back up, and I should give you some warnings for those who might be on the fence about locking your hair. And I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with y'all, 1,000, because let me tell you something. When you want to lock your hair, it's the journey. Okay, it's a journey, sis. Okay, don't compare your locks to somebody else's locks, because I have to have these come to Jesus moments with a lot of my clients, because they might see somebody who else hair posting and like, I want my locks to look exactly like hers, and I'm like, sis, the way how your texture set up, the way how your hair set up, it's not gonna look exactly like that. Okay, so I just try to be, keep it real with my clients and be more realistic with them. Let them know, on your journey, on your hair. Okay, we should be embracing our hair, embracing the crown that we were given, and not comparing ourselves to other people's hair, because that's foolish. Okay, say it in the Bible. Don't compare yourself with other people. Okay, focus on yourself. So that's the first thing. Second thing, like I said, this is a whole journey. So I don't really believe in calling it the ugly stage. Some people love to say, oh, you're going to have to go through the ugly stage. It's not an ugly stage. And we have to be careful about our words. It's not really an ugly stage. It's really just part of the process. Okay? It's part of the process. And if you don't know what people refer to as the ugly stage, some people refer to ugly stage as, some people start their locks when their hair is really, really short. So their hair only comes down to like maybe here. And sometimes it sticks up and it just be looking, kind of crazy. They call it the ugly stage. Or they call the stage where you done had your locks in for a few weeks and they're starting to look frizzy. They're starting to look a little untamed. Like, oh, that's the ugly stage. But your hair is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's giving what it need to give, as they would say on the internet. It's giving what it need to give, okay? So don't get discouraged because, you see like little frizzies, it's looking puffy. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and that's just part of the whole process. Now, I'm going to share with you some tips as well on how you can maintain your locks and how you can minimize like that frizzy look and just that quote unquote unkept look. Now, y'all, I'm kind of just talking all over the place because I don't really have no notes for this, okay? I'm just going based on, the clients I had today. I'm just giving tips off the top of my dome. So this ain't in no particular order. I'm just giving y'all some tips, okay? So y'all getting it fresh off the press or hot off the griddle, hot off the hot cakes. I don't know, but y'all just getting it fresh off the dome. How about that? Okay, so what else I was going to say is, on your journey. So, and I'm going to bust some myths at the same time when I'm talking about this in live. So the first myth you hear, especially when starting locks, is you can't wash your hair or shampoo your hair for 3 to 4 months or 6 months. Y'all, that's absolutely ridiculous. That's absolute. You do not have to go 3 and 4 and 6 months without shampooing your hair. That's a myth. That is a myth. I have clients, I started locks. Now, what I would recommend is getting your hair shampooed every 3 to 4 weeks when you first starting out. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to get it wet within that first 2 week, period, that increment. Now, some clients, they are a little bit more of a special case, and I do recommend they come back in 2 weeks. But this average overall, when they first starting out, every 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so don't think, some people don't want to get lost because they're like, man, I can't go that long without not shampooing my hair or not getting it wet. Now, I will say this: if you just starting locks, I wouldn't say you get locks this week and you plan to go to the beach in 2 weeks. I would not advise, deep diving, scuba diving in the ocean. Now, don't go that far. Don't be jumping in the pool doing cannonballs. Now, don't be doing all that because you don't want to get it wet during that, 3 to 4 week period before you come back for a retwist, okay? Because, your hair is in transition and something new, and it's trying to figure out, like, what we doing? Like, we not free no more? Nah, cuz you locked up. They won't let you out. You locked up, okay? The hair is trying to lock up. So I will say within that 3 to 4 week period, try to make sure you're not like intentionally getting wet. Like if you take a shower and it kind of get a little wet, I mean, that's fine. But I'm just saying, don't be intentional with trying to get your hair wet, okay? But you gonna come back in those 3 to 4 weeks, and we're gonna shampoo that head, okay? Cause I don't do no nasty head. We're gonna shampoo that head, okay? Them locks gonna be clean, all right? So you can come back 3 to 4 weeks, and you can get your retwist. You're gonna get your shampoo and your retwist, okay? Now, this is another disclaimer. When you first starting out, especially around the temple area, around this area, and just around your edges, perimeter, sometimes when it's time to shampoo, no matter how careful I am when I shampoo it, or no matter how careful you are when you shampoo it at home, those locks sometimes will unravel. You do have to be extra careful because around our perimeter, the hair is thinner, it's finer, and it's more delicate than versus the hair that's like in the crown. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I shampooed my hair, my locks came out, and it's like, it's not a big deal because it's still trying to figure out what's going on, and those are, easier to come out versus those in the middle. So another way you can lock your hair that I forgot to mention is interlocking. So interlocking is, I didn't bring it in here. Interlocking is basically when we take one of those crochet, if anybody get crochet braids, y'all seen like the crochet needle, the crochet hook. So basically what we do is interlocking is basically like taking and making like little knots at the base. And the reason why this method is a little bit more popular is because you can shampoo your hair without worrying about, the edges unraveling and some of the locks unraveling. You're able to have a little bit more freedom at home as far as like getting your hair wet because it's kind of interlocked. It's kind of like more of like a permanent locking system. So we basically take the needle and we go up under the lock and we put it through the needle. And so what we'll do is we'll pull the knot through the hole. And so it'll make a knot. And then we do it like maybe 4 or 5 times on one lock. And so it'll have like a stronger foundation. Now, this is what I'm gonna give you a disclaimer about interlocking. You have to be careful and make sure you're going to the right person that's doing it the right way, because if you're starting out locks, you do not need to be getting it interlocked every 3 and 4 weeks sometimes, especially depending on how your hair type is. If you're prone to have very thin and fine hair, you got to be careful with not interlocking as much, because I've seen people interlock their hair and sometimes 2 and 3 weeks. Like, that's too much on your hair. That's way too much. So you want to space out your interlocking. You don't want to be getting it every 2 to 3 weeks. To be honest with you, in my professional opinion, you probably can go a couple of months before you interlock it again. This is my professional opinion from what I've seen. And then this could also vary just depending on your hair type and what you got going on. Some of my clients, I'll do partial interlock and partial palm roll. So, you know how I just told y'all around the perimeter how the hair is a little bit finer and prone to coming out? Sometimes what I will do is interlock these around here just to give it a stronger foundation. So when it's time to shampoo it, the hair don't come out. I even have some clients, all of them will stay in during the shampoo, but then you have the back row that want to act funny, that want to act stink. So what I'll do is interlock, oh, glow butter shit. What I'll do is interlock that back row. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all, it smells good next door. Ooh. It smells good. It smells, that room, it smells good over there. It smells good over there. You hear me? I'm about to use y'all go butter now. I'm about to lather up. Let me get a... How I change to that? But I had to go check on my glow butter. So I'm going to have to get off soon because I got to go whip up that batch. But, so what was I talking about? Oh, being careful with interlocking. So I was saying how sometimes you can only interlock certain locks that need a little bit help. Just to give it a stronger foundation, just depend. And this can even happen, like I have some clients, their hair been locked for a while, and they're like, Lisa, I just feel like there's one lock right here, it just won't stay in, and it just keep coming out. You might have like a little stubborn one. You can just interlock that one. But again, I'm advising you, interlocking is not something you should be doing every time it's time to retwist your hair. I would not recommend it. I would not. So, when it comes to like the maintenance of locks, okay, so when we're loose naturals, I typically recommend that, and when I mean by loose natural, I mean that your hair is not locked, like you can get blowouts and stuff like that. But if your hair is locked, what does the shampoo schedule look like? Now, it's going to depend. Now, I had one client and she was going through some scalp issues, and I had her coming every 2 weeks. I wasn't necessarily retwisting it every 2 weeks because that's another thing. You got to be careful about retwisting too much and too tight. So she was going through something with her scalp, and she was coming every 2 weeks, and I was doing treatments to try to figure out what was going on with her scalp because she could not go past 2 weeks without shampooing her hair. So what I would do, I was only really technically retwisting her hair once a month, but when she came back in those 2 weeks, I would do something like rods, or I'll do like a braid out or a twist out, where I'm really not putting a whole lot of tension as far as retwisting each lock, but just enough so we can shampoo her hair and she can leave out with a decent style. So with her, yes, we had to have her on a strict treatment schedule, and praise God, she had went to the dermatologist. Come to find out, it was something medically going on with her, and she had to get a medication shampoo, and that pretty much cleared everything up. And she was able to go back to every 3 to 4 weeks shampooing her hair. So on average, you can go to about 3 to 4 weeks without shampooing your but before you shampoo your hair again. Now, just because you're waiting that 3 to 4 weeks to shampoo your hair, you still need to keep that scalp clean. Okay, you might not want to submerge your whole head in water, but you need to keep that scalp clean. That is so important, okay, for those with locks. So you might ask, Lisa, how do I keep my scalp clean in between if I don't feel like shampooing it? Well, I'm glad you asked, even though you didn't ask. I'm glad you asked. You can use a antiseptic, and y'all know what an antiseptic is? That rosemary spray. You better use that rosemary stimulating spray, okay? Now, the rosemary stimulating spray, the reason why I talk about it so much is because it has so many different benefits. And my clients who have locks, they love it, okay? So you can use the rosemary spray as a pre-treatment, as a leave-in, or rinse out. So if you're noticing it's in between your shampoos and you're like, oh, my scalp is feeling itchy, it's feeling a little gunky, I feel like I need to shampoo it, but I really don't want to. What you can do is you can spray that rosemary spray in between the parts of your hair, and you can get like one of those like little cotton pads that you use for like makeup or face care routine. And once you let that rosemary spray sit on there for a few minutes, you can kind of take that cotton thing and just wipe through your scalp and look at how much dirt is going to come off. So is that rosemary spray got antibacterial properties in it as well. So it's like a natural cleaner for your hair. It's kind of like I would say dry shampoo, but it's really not dry. But I guess it is dry shampoo because you don't really have to shampoo your whole head. Now, if you like, Lisa, I don't want to buy a rosemary spray, you can just get you a dry shampoo out the store. But just be mindful with dry shampoos that can be drying. So you want to make sure that you re-moisturize your hair, after you use that. Now, by all means, if you're that type of person like Lisa, I gotta shampoo my hair for real, because let me tell you, when that 19 happened, and I had some clients who I had kind of like just started their locks, I was concerned. I was like, Lord, what they gonna do? Like, Lord, y'all on your own. But I gave you some tips and tricks. So even if you're the person you like, I cannot get to a salon to get a retwist or washing a retwist, I don't know how to retwist my hair. Like, Lisa, how do I maintain this? Don't panic. Learn how to two-strand twist, because that's going to save you. That's what saved a lot of my clients doing their corner. And y'all know why I'm standing up on my rail, because we don't want YouTube to shut us down, or flag a video. But anyway, you can shampoo your hair, and you can do this regular two-strand twist. You can do regular two-strand twist. You don't even have to worry about retwisting. And then, because really the main problem, people be talking about how their roots be puffy. So make sure when you two-strand twist your locks, you can get a couple, depending on what size they are. You can get a couple of your locks and you can retwist them. And make sure you're using great tension at the root where it's puffy. Not to the point where you're pulling it real tight, but just enough where you know those roots are being twisted. Okay, so you can do two-strand twists all over your hair while it's still damp. Sit up under the dryer. Make sure them locks are dry, because we don't want that mildew, stanky booty locks, okay? We don't want no stanky booty locks. We don't. So make sure they are dry, okay? You can sit up under the dryer and let them dry, or either let them air dry, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure they're fully dry before you untwist them. And then when you untwist them, your locks will have like a nice wavy curly look. And that's going to get you through until it's time for you to either get to a salon or maybe you're retwisting yourself at home. Another tip is you can box braid your locks, okay? You can box braid them. After you shampoo them, you can box braid your locks. And that's going to give your hair a nice little feel and a curl, okay? So if you can't necessarily get to the salon, in time, you still can maintain them at home. But I'm just letting you know now, if you shampoo your locks, please be prepared to style them afterward. Don't just shampoo them and just leave them out, because you're going to have to be pulling them apart. I had another client, I don't know if Tashara's up here, but she was saying how she shampooed her locks, and Tashara got some thick hair now. You hear me? She got some thick hair. And she would have to pull them things apart. Because especially if you got thick hair, them things start to marry. Them things start to get together. And so you don't want that. You don't want to have 100 locks. And then by the time I see you again, you got 3. Because they are all budded together. Okay? Speaking of budding, let me go back. And like I said, I know this video is all over the place. Let me go back. When you start in your locks, a lot of people ask me, well, Lisa, how long is it going to take for my hair to lock? How long is it going to take? How long you think hair takes to lock? Now, just from my personal experience, it varies with the person. I've seen anywhere from 6 months to a year. Okay, your hair texture You had to take into effect your hair texture, how do you care for your hair, all of that matters. So sometimes those who have more thicker and more dense hair, theirs tend to lock a little bit quicker and just go ahead and get the party started, okay? Those sometimes who might have more fine hair, sometimes it takes just a little bit longer, okay? So just keep that in mind as well, anywhere from 6 months to a year. But as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, your hair will lock, and it will lock when it's supposed to lock. And you'll know it because the first stage is you'll start to see it budding a little bit. You might see like little balls on the end. You might see like little budding right here in the middle. So it's going to lock, but it's just going to just take some time. And all you have to do is be consistent with coming in every 3 to 4 weeks to get your hair washed and retwisted, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, let me read some of the comments. Yes, whip those butters, Miss Lisa. Thank you, Tracy Ann. Locked up. Yeah, y'all remember that song? Who was that? Acorn? What's his name? I said Acorn. Akon? I said Acorn. Yeah, Acacia just said you don't want to miss the sensational smiles sale. Acacia, I love it. Acacia said you do not want to miss the sensational. Oh, no, she didn't say sensational. Look at me making up stuff. See, I'll make up something in a minute. Seasonal. She said seasonal smile sale. Now I'll make up something in a minute now. Just making up words. Use the code Easter to save 20% off, okay? And just a sidebar, Easter doesn't have to be capitalized. Okay, I don't know if I told you that. But I don't know. I don't think it's code sensitive. But just so y'all know, if y'all use it and the code don't work, make sure it's just all lowercase. I don't want to make nothing capitalized, make it too difficult for y'all. So all lowercase, Easter, and you're gonna get 20% off your order. Okay. Yes, feel free to like, subscribe, and take notes. Acacia said, all right. Tracy Ann said, yes, Acacia, push that glow butter. I'm waiting for the Caribbean to restart. Oh, Tracy Ann came in late. I was just saying that I just made a batch of the Caribbean Escape. And the second one I was getting out, I'm about to make more eucalyptus, more lavender. And I'm probably going to make, maybe, depending on how much I got left, probably a little bit more of the Caribbean Escape. Oh, I forgot about the mango. I'm about to be up all night. Let me just pace myself. I'm about to be up all night, y'all. And then I got to work on my calendar for next month so I can open my calendar. Okay, let me just relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. Y'all remember Different World? Relax, relate, release. Oh, let's talk about nutmeg. No nutmeg. So, Coach Haru, is Coach Haru up here yet? She ain't up here. Yeah, Coach Haru was calling me about the nutmeg last night, this morning. And I didn't have intentions of making any more nutmeg. But so done hype that thing up so much. And now y'all want nutmeg. And the reason why I wasn't going to make no more nutmeg is because that was one of my fall scents. And we're moving into spring. But I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm not promising nutmeg. We're going to see how much of the whipped butter is left over. And I'll make a few. But I'm not promising y'all anything. So if you see it up there and whatever is left is what's left. Okay? So that's a scent that's kind of dying out. But only because... So if that nutmeg is in demand, let them cut them corns and get it. Okay. Well, y'all said it. Y'all want the nutmeg. Y'all get the nutmeg. Okay. Y'all get the nutmeg. Cause so done hype that thing up. You hear me? But I'm grateful. Okay. So hey, I gotta give the people what they want. Ain't that right, Casey? We gotta give the people what they want. So I think that is pretty much it tonight. It's gonna be another short and sweet one tonight because I got work to do. LISASMILEZ about to bust 1 million. Come on now, y'all looking at a millionaire, okay? I am on my way. I am on my way to $1 million, $1 trillion, $1 billion status. Let's go, okay? Let's go. Oh, you say you want some before summer hits. All right, so hey, this is what the people want. I'm about to go ahead and put another order for my rib, cause I believe it. I believe it. This sale, but it's about to go down. It's about to go down. You hear me? So anyway, I think that's all the tips I have for tonight as far as locks, starter locks, and how to maintain them. If I know I probably missed, I probably can go more in depth with this conversation, but I got some work to do tonight. But if you're watching some replay and maybe I didn't hit a topic, or maybe you have a question about locks and maintain them, just drop them in the comments and I will make sure to reply to them. But anyway, I just want to know, I appreciate y'all. We got a praise report coming. We have a praise report coming. I'm trying to hold my peace, but we got a praise report coming. So y'all stay tuned for that. God is on the throne. And we just over here just trying to do the Lord's work, okay? We over here trying to do the Lord's work. So anyway, thank you for everybody for watching this channel and for supporting. And occasionally, I don't know if it's gonna be no rest tonight because I got so much to do. I got so much to do. So anyway, thank y'all so much for joining, and I will see y'all on my next video. Bye.